just me, girl.
The homeless crisis in Los Angeles is continuing to spiral out of control, and local politicians are doing little to stop it. They claim one of the primary causes is a lack of affordable housing, but Dr. Drew Pinsky is speaking out and debunking that narrative. Watch.
This isn't a housing problem.
It's not?
No.
What is
That's a hoax. That's a hoax being perpetrated by the government here locally. They need to stop.
That there isn't, because it seems
Of course we have housing expense issues, but we just absorbed 1 million illegal, undocumented immigrants. They found a place to live. It's a hoax. So it's a mental health crisis and addiction crisis. People that had mental illness that shouldn't have been in prison in the first place, frankly, ended up on the streets. And then because we made drugs legal, essentially, in California, all my people are here. The drug users are here now because they don't get hassled.
Dr. Drew also sounding the alarm about LA's growing public health emergency, and he's warning about the possibility of a deadly disease outbreak.
The people go, why are you so concerned now? There's one word: rats. Have you seen what's happened with the rats? We have like 12 million rats in Los Angeles now. And the last time we had more than 2 million, plague broke out.
All right, Greg. Communicable diseases and rats don't care about city limits, and they don't care about whether a Democrat or a Republican is leaving them. So what's going to happen when they start? And oh, by the way, later on he said, Dr. Drew said something about if only 2% of those.
Scary.
Yes, it's
scary.
like, it's frightening. It's a total. Remember that movie Outbreak? It's that. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. So what? Tell us about
12 million rats. But enough about the Hollywood actors. Dr. Drew is scaring the crap out of me, and he scares the crap out of me because he's always right. He's predicted all these disease outbreaks in the last couple of years. You know what usually happens after a mass disaster like an earthquake? If in countries like Haiti, for example, when they have terrible infrastructure, you have bodies that rot, then you have rats, and then you have disease. That's what you're having in LA. Yep. And that's not a natural disaster. You want a man-made disaster? This is man-made. It's 3 issues, and he's nailed it. Mental health issues, drug issues, and an incentive to stay. And the incentive to stay is we're not going to bug you. We're going to let you go there. Dr. Drew sent that email out to us about how the fire department comes in and tries to clean it up. But what they end up doing is they hose the human feces and the drugs into the water. 60,000 people, their stuff goes into the water. My suggestion and what Trump should do is you should declare an emergency and appoint Drew as like a homeless czar, right? I'm serious, create like a team that has like Dr. Mark Siegel, Bill Pulte, have these people that are interested in solving problems. Bill Pulte is tackling the blight in Detroit. People that aren't political. These are not political people. Get an engineer involved that can figure out how to build these shelters to get these people in, because they're not using the shelters in LA the way they use them in New York. Something like 5% that I got from Dr. Siegel. So I don't know. I think there's a way to do this. I think Trump should attack it.
Dana, what's going to be the wake-up call?
Well, when he said that if the rat population has like 1.5% of the rats have plague now, and he said when it gets to 2%, that's when it jumps to humans. Ugh. Like that would be a wake-up call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to go too well, indeed. And also, he said that I think it's interesting that he said that that relaxing the laws on drugs have caused an additional problem. Now, you basically have states all across America that have that on the ballot, saying like, oh, well, we think that this is a really great idea for civil liberties perspective, but maybe be careful what you wish for.
Because all of those issues are interrelated, too. So I think it's impossible to contain one without affecting the other.
Maybe.
Jesse, you had some creative ideas yesterday that we talked about.
Yeah, those were not creative.
Cruel.
Those were terrible.
No, that was a temporary solution to a problem. If you have a business and you have a tent city outside your family business, have a little sprinkler system. Then maybe wet them and then move them. Or loud music or loud canines. But I agree with every point that Greg made and that Dr. Drew made. You have a toxic combination of factors and a permissive political structure that's not going to do anything. They tried to quarantine them into these zombie zones. Then now there's spillover from the zones, and it's affecting police and families and small businesses. The point is, the czar thing could work, but you have to have Democrat buy-in. You have to have some Democrat buy-in in California, or they're not going to allow these experts from the Trump team to parachute in and try to fix the problem that they helped create. I haven't heard a thing from Democrats running for president about this issue. this very issue. I've heard a lot about compassion for illegal immigrants, not a lot of compassion for American citizens that are living right under their noses. And that's why a lot of Americans are upset with the Democratic Party, because they feel like they care more about other people than they care about the people living under their own border. They haven't heard anything in the media about this. Where's CNN? Where's MSNBC? It seems like the national media also doesn't care about it, just like they don't care about black-on-black crime in the south of Chicago. Just don't like they care about other issues that make them look bad politically.
One.
I don't understand, Jesse. Compassion, if you're saying that they lack compassion, a minute ago I thought you said that they were too compassionate, and that's why the people were.
I don't know. I think you need tough love. I don't think it's compassionate to just let people decay on the city street.
But let me just say, I don't think that I agree with Greg. I think the president should act. I think if you consider this a national issue, if you're not simply trying to attack cities and Democrats as somehow responsible, well then, okay, it's a national issue. Individuals like us can't specifically do any one thing. I think we can feel very self-conscious and uptight about seeing so many homeless people on the street, but it's going to take a national solution. I disagree about sending in radio talk show hosts and TV personalities.
He's a doctor. He's actually a doctor who's dealt with infectious disease and drug addiction. Dr. Drew is not a talk show host.
Okay, that's how I know in talk shows, and I get really upset when I hear that this issue gets boiled down to like the threat, the fear-mongering of, oh, well, this could lead to bubonic plague.
He's right.
He's right. You know what? After the show, you should read up on Dr. Drew's history, that he has treated thousands of patients for decades. I know you don't want the facts, Juan. You don't care. You just want it to mean somebody.
What we are saying here today to this audience
is true.
Gee, those people that you see on the street, they're a health risk.
You're the reason people suffer. You don't want to help them.
People aren't the health risk. The rats are.
Well, I just think rats are a problem. I don't care about homeless. You can go to big cities everywhere, and there's a rat problem, Dana.
All right, you guys. Viewers, stay right there. Fan Mail Friday is up next.
I got real big plans, baby, for you and me. So love me for who I am.